there, this is Susie back again, and today she is going to talk about palms. Palms are one of those very hardy, easiest plants to have inside your house and also outside, as long as you plant it away from the frost, in the protected area or under the larger or bigger trees. They make a beautiful contrast with other leafy things in your garden. And I love this particular palm. It's called Rachis, and when I bought it, it was about 900 millimeters, which is about 90 centimeters. And now it's about same size as me, which is about 180 centimeters in height. So it took about 6 years to get to my height. So you can see how what a slow grower it can be, especially when it's in a pot. Over here, as you can see, I have planted it into the ground, and there's no pots underneath, and it is doing magnificently well with the sizing, and the roots can reach or go as far as it wants to grow at a more faster rate. Amongst all this palm, I have got a green palm here, not to say you can see it very well, but this one also was planted at the same time as my Rachis plant. And it's a family of the golden palm. This is a green palm, and of course there is the same sort of look in golden sort of leaf, not so much the leaf, but golden petioles on them. Now coming this way, I have this gigantic one here, and this is a Kentia plant. And when I bought it, it was, I would say, just under a meter tall. And you can see it's bigger than me. And it's also been planted in the ground, as you can see, and it's starting to form a nice trunk at the bottom. And it hasn't taken that long since it has been planted in the ground. It has taken, same as the Rachis, about 6 years, because these 3 palms were planted in the ground here in my atrium about the same time. And the babies, when I bought it, I didn't only have one stem. I had about 4 or 5 of them, so I pinched one of the 5 of the plants and planted over here. And the ones that the other 4 is still about meter to meter and a half, and that is due to the fact it's still in its pot, which is about 25 centimeter pot. So plants, or any plants for that matter, you can contain the size by the size of the pot. So as you can see, freelancing here, free to the ground, you can have a rapid growth. Now, I am now very shortly going to the table and showing you a few more of my palms. Here I am back at my table, and I am going to go through some of the exotic or some of the palm collection that I have here with me. As you can see, I have got this one is called a toadstool palm with a nice beautiful fern-like leaves here, and this one is also quite a hardy plant, and you can either leave it in a pot as such, or you can increase the size of the pot, and it will give you these beautiful leaves inside your house. So palms are also a very good leafy structured plants that you can contrast with your other pot plants that would make your indoor area and give you a nice variety of different leaf structures. So this is a toadstool palm, and also known as footstool, sorry, not toadstool, excuse me there, it's a footstool palm, my apologies. And it's a Chinese windmill palm, it's also known as this particular one. And it's I just love the fan type of leaf, and it's got a bit of, if you can see, teeth on them, so just be very careful that you don't get poked by them. And it's one of my favorites. I really love this particular palm. And then I am going to show you a smaller version of the Kentia palm. This is the Kentia palm that I showed you, quite a large palm there hitting the roof. And this is just a baby, and it is one of the natives of Howe Island, Lord Howe Island plant, this particular one. And it grows really well outside in warmer climates, which is tropical to subtropical areas. And you can also plant them in Sydney, in New South Wales. They do seems to like the outdoors, but in here in Victoria, we tend to plant them either in protected areas outside or indoor plant. So it's one of the nicest. It looks like a coconut tree leaves, as you can see. And what I like about them is that it literally droops really nicely. You know, it's a very serene leaves when it does droop. From the Kentia, we come across another hardy plant, which is also a native of Queensland area. And in Queensland and other tropical part of the world, they all seems to grow them outside, and it is beautiful. The leaves hasn't sort of, it's still very immature plant. The leaves look like a fan, and it grows really close to each other like a nice, you know, fan-like. And this particular palm is called the Leucurella ramsay. So it's Leucurella. There are many different varieties, of course. And the leaf structure is just magnificent in when it comes out. So, and these particular plants can grow up to whatever height if you leave them out growing onto the ground. And you can only try to restrict the size by the size of the pot. And I love this particular Leucurella because of that leaf structure. Another one I have here is Chinese fan plant. It is really lovely and magnificent too, because it's got a very long petiole, and obviously it grows into a nice fan type of leaves, and it just gives you another different palm to have it indoors if you like. It just shows how many different varieties there are over there if you're really looking. Here's another one which is called the European fan palm. I just love this streak look about it, this particular fan type. It is just beautiful, and it just gives me that very expensive look about this particular palm, because the way it has got its fans into a very streak, slim look of the leaves. Very nice, and it can grow up to 10 to 15 meters in the wild if you let it grow, but they are very slow growers. As you know, a lot of palms do grow very slow, especially this one, Pala palm. This would be good 2 years growth, if not more, to get to this height. And this Pala palm also has got magnificent leaves, you know, and most of these palms are really hardy. So if you're looking at something that you don't have to take care all that much in winter, and also this particular palm just loves dark areas of your house too. If you like to leave them in the darkest part of the house, the leaves tend to go darker. It's very dark leaves, and they survive. They are survivors inside the house, regardless how much water you give. But you know, I mean, although you have to feed them, and they will just keep growing for you and keep looking nice. And I'll show you this parlor palm in my atrium very shortly after I've finished showing you the last one of the palms. We'll get there and I'll show you how many years that has been growing. Now here's my last one, which is the very small version of the Raphis plant, which they call it a lady palm, I think. So I call it Raphis because that's what I know them by. So it's a baby one. It's not as huge, but given 6 to 8 years, it will get to the height that I was showing of my Raphis in my atrium over there. So this is, just a baby. It's about 60 to 70, if not 80 centimeters high, and it will take up to 8 to 10 years to get to that height if you plant them in the ground. But if you leave it in here, it's a very slow grow. Okay, I'll go and show you a few other palms that's growing in my atrium. This is my parlor palm that I have also grown here for the last 6 years. When I had the parlor palm, it was only a baby about this high, and look at the size, and it's in the ground, and it has taken up to 6 years to get to this height. And you can see how dark the leaves are, because in this corner it doesn't really get much light, and it is a survivor, as you can see. Most palms, as I've already mentioned, they don't really mind what kind of care you provide them, whether or not you feed them, like fertilize them or not. I hardly ever fertilize this plant, and it seems to be thriving in this particular corner. So there's one of them in the ground, and it has taken 6 years to get that far. From there, I will show you this particular palm here. If you can see it well, because of the light behind it, you mightn't be able to see all that well. But this is my date palm here, and it has got very sharp pin-like needles, as you can see, and it can poke you if you're not very careful. So it's got quite large needles, and this plant has been planted here yet again in the last 6 years, and as you can see, it's only grown from about 60 centimeters to probably about 1 meter now in the last 6 years. So most palms, as you can see, they are not really fast growers, except for some reason this Kentia palm has done really well in there, only because probably lack of light, and it's just trying to reach the light, and it has just elongated in there. Now these are all the palms that I have amongst other plants in my atrium, as you can see. So if you don't know much about palms and you don't know what care they really do require, well, they are the easiest of all plants. So I encourage you to have at least 1 or 2 palms in your collection as an indoor plant. Now, that's all I would like to say, and thank you for watching my video, and talk soon. Bye for now.